my work life and my family. And so I was actually #1 in Canada for the company within the first year I was there. The company no longer exists. It was called Canada Permanent. But I thought there must be a better way to do this. But then I found out about new housing. And so I found out it was the first site. It was actually with Woodley Homes. It was at the corner of Leicester and near Woodruff for Carlingwood Shopping Centre behind Canadian Tire. And I started to get into new housing. And why I did that is they had set hours. So you'd work from 12 to 8. Then it was a great way to balance my life with my family. Because in resale at the time, you were always being torn and you missed birthday parties or, you know, graduation and things like that. So I started to do new homes. Well, within 5 years, I became the executive vice president of the building corporation. And I was the only woman builder. And at the time, we also opened up in actually Tremblant as well. So we had Les Entreprises Woodley. I took my license in Quebec. You call it a promoter. That's when you're a builder in Quebec. And we actually partnered with the Molson family. And we were there before Interwest, and we were building custom homes. And then we also did all kinds. We were the largest custom builder in Ottawa. And my job was very interesting, and that's when my degree came in handy with all the accounting I learned and economics, and I was in contract law, so it worked out quite well. And what we did is I did all the land acquisitions, I met with all the banks, did all the financing, I worked with all the architects, I did all the market studies on what kind of homes, how to build, what specifications. I did all the model homes, the marketing. It was like amazing. I'm in my 30s, so it was quite interesting. And so it was quite an, you know, I just said it was, I didn't really realize, you know, where I was doing at the time and how I was actually the only woman in meetings, because I look back now and then there was no women architects, there was no women planners, there was no women real estate lawyers, so I was the only one sitting there. It was a little difficult sometimes because, again, I still had 3 children, my husband and I couldn't leave a meeting because you had like invisible children back then. You, as a woman, you couldn't say you had a child.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't say, "Ooh, I have to run and get them at daycare." Like that was not allowed. It was, you know. So it was very, very interesting time to balance that. So then what happened is, unfortunately, I lost my job at age 40. The owner died of the company, and then the family decided to take over. So at age 40, I started my own